Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Today, we are talking about Hurricane Helene and the devastation that it left behind. Also, Diddy again. Diddy is always in the news and new allegations against Diddy. Also, we're talking about 9-to-5s and do women even like dudes with 9-to-5s? And 5 signs it's time to quit that 9-to-5. So we'll be right back. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. Yeah.
More numbers.
Man, look, first of all, y'all give it up for my lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Give it up for
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. And y'all, look, that is my DJ. He is my DJ, DJ Kojak in the building. Give it up for him. DJ Kojak. Hey, scratch it up.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do that again.
You're trying to take your job. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So y'all heard that scratch. Hey,
did you hear it?
Hey, Angelica, you hear it?
I got the sound.
Yeah.
That's your DJ. If I need you to confirm, my DJ.
But Jeremy, did you hear that scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right.
That's why I watch this guy every day.
Y'all give it up for Jeremy Pierre in the building. What's up, JP?
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Louisiana's finest in the building. You know, so we happy to have you too, man. Man, look, we're gonna send a shout out to your news station, Fox 13, man. You know, just give them a little plug.
Fox 13 gang.
Fox 13 gang. Yeah, and that's really, man, we'll talk about that too, man. The Fox 13 gang. But man, what's up, man? We're glad to have you, man. You finally made it to the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I forgot my hat.
You forgot your hat? Yeah. What's up with that, man?
Man, well, I just got cut.
Okay.
Okay.
I see you done. Yeah. You got your little spray in, man.
That means turn the air on. We don't need him sweat too hard. We don't need the drip now. Okay, got that good Beijing. All right, you in there then.
Hey, one thing we're gonna say too also is, man, Ken Mack is gonna send. We're gonna send him an invoice.
I already sent a picture. He here rapping already.
Yeah. Tell him we got an invoice coming.
I call him Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Shout out to Ken Mack. You know, with the Memphis shirts, we mess with you, man.
Where's ours at though?
Yeah, even though he jumped on, my timeline talking cash-ish.
He's so rude.
Right. But that's my guy, Ken Mack. He can't play a lick of dominoes, but he's still my guy.
Watch out, man.
Yeah, man. So look, let's jump in this. There's a lot going on. Of course, Diddy is in the news again, right? And every week there's something new about Diddy, right? Yeah. And so this week, they've new allegations, 120 alleged victims.
120.
And this is courtesy of NBC News.
That's youngest is 9.
Yeah. They're saying the youngest is 9. And the attorney Tony Busby out of Houston, he's directing this ship, right?
That's the same attorney that went after Travis.
Yeah, Travis Scott.
Right, for the whole Astro World thing. He tried to get like $750 million.
Yeah, man.
$750 million?
He hang around he hang around these rappers.
Man, but what's interesting too is that he's saying that there are more names that are going to be pulled in.
High profile
names, and the names will shock you.
What's crazy, you brought that up.
Yeah.
They even got commercials now. You know how they mesothelioma. You worked it. If you've been to a Diddy party,
yes.
you feel like
you've been violated.
Yeah. Kind of like if you had a hair perm, you have fibroids and cancer. Call in. Man. Yeah, call the Diddy hotline.
It's sad and unfortunate though, man, that that we're even having these conversations, man, but this is a really, really big deal, that's going to have so many rippling effects and things that come out of it.
Especially with the high profile person like Jeremy, who do you, even though I don't say it the way y'all want me to say it, who do you think the high profile person could be?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
You know, we had some speculations behind the scenes. I'm not going to say one of the people's name, but
I'm not going to say.
Ooh, you're not going to say it? What you think, Parkinson? Who do you think?
Well, you know, I don't know. You know, Kojak who?
If they say,
y'all gonna pass this around like hot potato, ain't it?
If they say 9 years old, and it was 20 years ago.
No, we said high. Well, I already think he's one. I already think he's one.
Who? Usher?
He's a victim.
Well, yeah,
that's already out there. They're talking about another high. They said that's alleged. They're saying a high profile person is responsible. That's doing these type of acts, right? No.
They said
there's somebody else.
They said
that's higher profile than him.
Well, so there was another lady that came with some allegations too, and they are saying that there are high-profile people in these videos that's even more high-profile than Diddy.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And one of the people I saw in the video, it might have been Busby or the other lady that's an attorney too. She said she said that you know they've seen the stills from the video and they are crystal clear.
Yes,
you know, clear. And so you know, there's nothing that you know is hiding. It's not blurry. You know, you can see, and Busby said that these acts that are taking place are not suitable for television, not suitable for children, and it's some ish going on.
You know what? And it was crazy. I thought about somebody that's been abused, that's possibly been abused, and usually when people that have been abused, they abuse drugs. I thought about Aaron Carter.
Oh, why do you think about Aaron Carter?
Because
why did you think about this? Yeah, because I mean, elaborate.
He abused drugs, but he was close to Diddy. His brother was close in the music. You know, what was it? Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one. I didn't think about that one.
I forgot all about him.
Yeah. So don't we have video, LeContier?
More than 100 new accusers plan to pursue legal claims against Sean Diddy Combs, according to their attorney.
These were people that were there, that were allegedly drugged and then allegedly raped, passed around, woke up the next morning with just completely clueless about what had happened to them.
Combs denies the allegations, his lawyer telling CNN in part, Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. Combs already faces a dozen civil lawsuits and has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Houston attorney Tony Busby tells CNN he intends to file individual lawsuits against Combs for each of the 120 new accusers, some who he says have already spoken to the FBI. Do you have video evidence of your clients allegedly being sexually abused?
It's full-on video of things happening that would never be appropriate for public viewing.
And the guy said he got not only pictures, videos, and texts.
Yeah.
Man, if it's one thing I done learned about these high-profile cases in Memphis, they gonna get you with them phones, man.
Yeah, them screenshots will get you every time you bust it down somewhere.
You can't just erase nothing nowadays. Ain't no erasing.
Yeah, you know, and that's the Southern District in New York. You know, the case with Eric Adams, the case with Trump. They're doing digital. They're looking at the digital footprints, right? So you know, your social media, your phones, your text messages, and so on and so forth. And even with the Young Dolph trial, they track the dudes cell phone stuff. But hold that, because we're gonna talk about that. Yeah. But also look, I think this is important to note too. There's a lot of people there saying there's other people that's involved in the case, but why are those names not being named, right? And so we have a possible angle that might speak to why other people aren't being named, and it's only Diddy right now.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war. But it would also be irresponsible of me to just let this moment go by. The world is watching, and not do everything I can to make sure that going forth that we're a part of the narrative, that we own our politics. And so I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched. And it's called Our Black Party.
Okay.
It's time for us to have our own black political party, unapologetically. Because right now, if you look at the debates, we're not even a part of the conversation.
Not at all.
We're not a part of the conversation. We don't have any political power. We don't have any political leverage. And so we started Our Black Party with some young, fearless black activists, elected officials, and I've stepped up and put the money behind it.
Put the money behind it. All right.
So you know, this may actually be bigger, you know, than what the face of it looks like, right? You know, because, you know, you start tampering with, you know, that level of politics, you know, and moving, if you are, you know, the leader of this thing or the funding mechanism of this new black party, you know, you done put the eyes of the political world on you, and the powers that be.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Your left hand know what your right hand is up to.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? You know, a few years ago, and maybe it was around the first Trump, you know, the first Trump run, right? I heard some colleagues, you know, talking about, you know, a black party and you know, this, that, and other. Now, I believe in my heart of hearts that, you know, we should, you know, leverage our collective strength, right? You know, but hey, this could possibly be, you know, where, you know, a lot of this is stemming from. You know, look, move in silence.
I mean, just like I guess you would say Bill Cosby. The rumor is Bill Cosby was about to buy NBC.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on, man.
Moving silent.
Moving silent.
Man, yeah.
I feel like, you know, you get too cocky. And like you just said, start running your mouth. And like how Kanye said, I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. You know, you can't do that, man.
Man, no, you got to, as you know, there's an art to secrecy.
Man, you know, a lot of people do not have that art, don't have it down. But look, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back because we got more to talk about. You know, we didn't even get to cover everything in the segment. But when we come back, you know, we're gonna talk about the Dolph murder trial. We're also going to talk about 8Ball and MJG, and some cat from Mississippi has something to say, man.
State of Mississippi.
Mississippi. So look, don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back.
Grab a backwood and roll up. Grab your cup and let pour up. They didn't want us round it first, but now they act like they know what. Hey, but they show love, yeah, we show out when we show up. I don't even do the liquor, that shit might make me throw up. But we turned up, this the after party. Shit grabbing on my body. White girl got a bottle in the club, and that going gnarly. Turned up in a wreck the party. We just brought out everybody. No, we got our have some fun. We at the after party.
What up, everybody? This is your boy, comedian Alfred Kainga, and you're checking out the Antonio Project. Okay, yeah, you're checking out the Antonio Parkinson Project in Memphis, Tennessee.
Do it again.
Hey, what up, everybody? This is your boy, comedian Alfred Kainga, and you're listening to the Antonio Parkinson Project in Memphis. Is that good?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project.
No kind of nothing.
I am Antonio Parkinson, man. Look, hey, LeConte is back, and you know our countdowns be jacked when LeConte is back in the building, right? Man, so look, we ain't got no countdown.
Jeremy, this not Fox over here, Jeremy. It's not Fox.
That's how I get
okay.
caught sometimes. Stand by.
Right. But welcome back. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got my lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods, who's over here distracting everybody from.
I almost got put in timeout. God. Okay.
But she's still lovely. Y'all give it up for her. Angelica Jelly Woods. Yeah. And my DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak. Okay, DJ Kojak, stretch it up 4 times for
I'm
him.
gonna pass the Jeremy. Let him
I know, baby.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. See, I just told him that. I'm telling y'all.
I didn't hear that scratch.
Oh, shade.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that, Angelica?
I heard it. Even though he didn't remember me, I heard. I'm giving him
He didn't hit the air.
ready.
He just got a gig.
Hey, there you go.
So speaking of Diddy, speaking of high profile stuff, we just wrapped up the Young Dolph case, and Jeremy, you was there, right? You was there from the beginning.
Day one.
Break the news.
Right. Tell us what we don't know.
Oh, I know.
Come on, JP. Come on, man. Give us something new that we don't know.
What did you hear while you were there?
I think the trial brought out. It confirmed a lot of rumors. We knew someone was behind it. We just didn't know the exact person, but we knew it was in connection to. And look, you got to understand, when you're dealing with people of high profile, like these rappers, this beef, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
it's dangerous, and it's sad. It's sad. It's real sad because granted, Big Jook, his brother Yo Gotti, this is they're stars. You know what I'm saying? Big Jook never wrote a song in his life, but people knew who he was. And Young Dolph, again, not just a star in Memphis, but a star worldwide,
globally.
And just I was watching something earlier today of him at a concert in California. They lost their job it was in North Carolina. They lost their job at Duke.
For playing his music.
Because the dean, he gave him $20,000 a piece.
I was like,
now, granted, I ain't never seen no other rapper from Memphis do that.
I ain't seen no rapper, period, do that.
But a lot of people, that speaks to the heart of Young Dolph and what a lot of people have said. It corroborates, where he was from. I don't want to call it philanthropic, but just from a people standpoint, and a humanitarian standpoint.
Now, I will tell you this: when what day is it? All right, so Monday or next Wednesday, the Hernandez Govan and Cornelia Smith will be in court.
Oh, it starts all over again.
Well, no. Cornelius got on, and he was the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Right.
He was singing. He gonna get a Grammy. I know. He gonna get a Grammy for that one. But it's just gonna be in prison. But I would expect a plea deal. The announcement of a plea, as well as Hernandez Govan, the announcement of the plea. Now, what's crazy? And I brought this up as a question to Steve Morroy and Paul Hackerman. They really didn't connect Justin Johnson, old straight drop, to Hernandez Govan, other than him introducing Hernandez Govan introducing straight drop to Big Jook. So it's going to be interesting to see how Hernandez Govan's part in this. Is he going to continue to have the murder charge or a conspiracy charge? Because Cornelius said all he got was 800 and some pills from
that's ridiculous. From take a life.
Yeah, but then they were tying the money that was paid to the attorney to it. That was important. That was an important tie.
Govan ain't got $50,000.
That's not my point. That's not my point. I think Govan will be stuck with a conspiracy charge.
Okay.
Right. But possibly more because if $50,000 was transferred, that means that's payment for murder. That's what they were trying to. That's what they said, and was it Cornelius said yes in court.
He didn't hesitate.
No, he said at first he said I didn't know how much he got.
And like I said, I've been with this case from the very beginning. It was a bit confusing because at first It was announced Art Horn was the
right. And then he said he didn't want to take the case. Or something.
He said, "No."
I was wondering who got paid to be the attorney, and they never said that. I'm like,
look, do you zoom in? Do you know?
Yeah, don't.
Can we drop a vibe on that Tony Parkinson?
Somebody got some money.
Somebody got some money.
They gonna fall in the deposits.
I would say a well-known attorney got some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. Let's not go out.
Well, you're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
But you know one thing that I found interesting, and you got to follow the nuances, right, of what these attorneys were saying.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying payment came from CMG.
Mm-hmm.
They kept saying it.
Oh,
they kept saying
that. Did you pay attention to that?
They kept saying
it. And here's the thing. And that's why everybody, when you hear CMG, you automatically connect it to God.
It's a brand. It's automatic.
And Big Jook was an executive with CMG.
Right. But what it makes me wonder is if there's a bigger play coming because of how they keep branding.
Of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if a RICO came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Well,
I mean, because here's the thing. CMG now being involved in this is now classified possibly as a gang. That's how the federal government works. So, and then look at it. Like I said, I've been in Memphis 10 years. I've done several stories on Young Dolph getting shot at. No stories of anybody else from CMG being shot at.
Well, it was a couple.
My first story was the CIAA with the bus, the van, getting shot up in front of this hotel in downtown Charlotte. Nobody was in there. I mean, well, maybe two people were in there asleep, but it wasn't Dolph. He was upstairs in the hotel. And then in California. I've done 4 stories. In Castelia in 2017 or 16, Black Youngster going there on live. Where you at, Dolph? Where you at, Dolph? Yeah, I broke that story. Oh Lord,
I remember you on that.
Man, speaking of which, we hadn't heard a peep from Black Youngster through all of this. But
the brother lost his brother. I really think, and I hope he has. I really think Black Youngster is taking the back seat to all this drama because, I mean, once you lose a loved one, before his brother got shot at the gas station right there on South Park, right across the street from the Liberty Bowl, I believe. You were hearing him all the time.
But even with that, they were saying that, anything come back, they're saying that, okay, that's what happened to Youngster, Dolph folks. This is what intrigues me. The streets take a personal, I guess, stands on something, and they'll go and try to do something, even without the person initiating it, thinking that they're going to get some kind of, some kind of rank or street cred about it, even in that. So when it came out, they kept, the whole Dolph fan were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got.
And then he released that song. Y'all remember Black Youngster released that song? About being on Dolph's grave and everything. And really, I think that cooled out because Black Youngster was checked off the map. Because nobody that out there would make a song and put it out there.
Most people stupid enough to do that. I mean, Straight Drop did a song after.
Well, Straight Drop was an amateur rapper. Black Youngster got a bigger name than Straight Drop.
Yeah, and and he could have been told to sit his ass down by his own folks. Could have been. I don't know. We're not in there. But I tell you this though, a couple of things. One. When we had Steve Morroy on the show, he said, man, these individuals, they think that they're honoring the person that's been killed by going to kill somebody else.
Exactly.
And it's not, man, and also, man, the streets was breaking this case.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Oh, yeah. Man, early on, man, if you follow YouTube, the streets found the car, the white Mercedes, the streets found, they were breaking this.
The streets. But I will say this, and I'm going to point out the YouTube detectives.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, look, I hope you're not talking about them. I hope you're talking about the real streets out here.
Well, I am. Well, they are the YouTube detectives, though. Right. Some of them, that's on YouTube. Yeah.
Some of those I think you said out of town YouTube detectives.
Oh, yeah.
Was putting me in it. And the folks down there at Makita's, just threatening them, calling them. Yeah. So,
and I'll tell you this too. We had Ball and G on the show, just last week.
Definitely.
And one of the things that was interesting is that we asked them, how what's it going to take to heal the city, and they made a point, and I thought it was a good point, is that this divide is so deep now. It's going to take a long time for that wound to be cleansed and healed, right? And it's interesting. I thought about you today. I was with NLE Chopper today.
Right? I saw that. I didn't even get that invite. Though.
Right? Yeah. It was private. Seriously, it was. I was told it was private. So but he talked about that, right? And and some of the things he's doing, because he had a video shoot yesterday. He got a new song.
Man,
he got a new song called Unity NLE that's about to drop. And it's about, healing the divide. But it was your point, though. I think when you and Ball were talking, saying that it's going to take a young person, that still has this the ears of these younger folks to stand up and say enough is enough.
And you know who I think that's going to be? Surprisingly enough. I know he's locked up right now, but he's going to get out with a brand new mindset. Because he's growing up. Pooh
Shiesty?
I think Pooh Shiesty is going
to
come out. I really think.
Okay, he said it first. He's going to break another thing. He's going to say, I broke that back on Antonio Parkinson project.
Well, here's the thing. Pooh Shiesty, the brother is not dumb.
No.
Graduated from Central High School. I know some of his teachers. Yeah. I know his assistant principal. So he's a smart brother.
Yeah.
But again, the culture, but
that's interesting.
Spending some time in the feds. You got nothing but time.
Yeah. That's interesting because shout out to NLE Chopper's mother, and she said this today. She said a lot of times people don't realize that these rap artists, they're not dumb street dudes, right?
No.
NLE Chopper came out. He came out Houston High School, right? And so and one of the best high schools in the city, right? But they are pulled in a bunch of different directions without that person that can say, "Hey, man, no, not to this." And I think NLE Chopper, he thanked God for his mother being there, right? Who's able to give him that uncut, advice and mentorship. And that's what I think a lot of these artists are missing. And they're listening to, they're making decisions. We said this did we say this last week about acceptance? Most people make decisions because they are trying to gain acceptance or validation from, someone else. Right. And I think that's what's happening with them.
Yeah. And then also, Chopper, he didn't sign a contract, you know what I'm saying? So he's able to move like how he want to move and not have to, be under the thumb of someone that's telling him, do it like this, do it like that. And then when I saw that, I said, this brother's smart, man.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Were you about to say something?
Well, and another thing, just piggybacking off of his mother, she protects him.
Yeah.
She protects him. She keeps every negative influence in this music industry away. I guarantee you, if he would have got an invite to a Diddy party, his mama would have said, "Oh no, he not."
Right. Hey man. And we asked Ball and G if they went to a Diddy party too, man. That was a funny answer, man. So,
the public one, everybody else went to, not the private one.
Right.
Yeah. The public one. Yeah, the public guy.
Let me plug that show. If y'all hadn't watched the Ball and MJG show, it's the last show.
Matter of fact, I saw that.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah, but look, so speaking of Ball and G, of course, they got streets named after him. Shout out to Paul Young making that shit happen, right? And it was a good look. It was packed out, man. And congratulations again to Ball and G. But Kojak, somebody had something to say?
the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
They always got something to say. The DA, y'all broke this story. That's why I saw it on Channel 13. The DA was like, man, trying to put it in a negative tone, saying that to name a street after a rapper is kind of like condoning violence and let me try and get the exact words. I don't want to mess him up.
Yeah, what's his name?
DeSoto, Matthew Barton.
Okay, DeSoto County DA.
Yeah, the DeSoto County DA.
Okay.
He feels we are elevating and celebrating the very culture that fuels the city's crime problem.
While some see it as a celebration of the city's musical culture, I believe it sends the wrong message. Memphis and Tennessee leaders constantly ask why crime continues to devastate their communities. The answer is clear. It's because they romanticize it. The DA goes on to write, 8-Ball and MJG may be prominent figures in Southern hip-hop, but the music glorifies violence, drugs, and street life. By naming a street after them, Memphis is elevating and celebrating the very culture that fuels the city's crime problem. Now, Barton, he also asked how can they expect to reduce violence and criminal behavior when they're publicly honoring individuals who promote the same destructive lifestyle. I spoke to people about this opinion piece.
Elvis, who got all those, situations from the marriage of a young woman, to all the allegations that he went through, the drug, but we're not going to say he the reason, but he got a whole highway, whole street named after him.
So I got a take on that, right? So if we, but now Elvis Presley, now he wasn't a perfect little.
Come on now.
What about Elvis?
He had some little allegations. Was he known as like a child predator or something like that? Pedophile predator.
Yes.
Well, he married young. He married somebody young, right? How old was he? Yeah. And Jerry Lee Lewis, I think he married his cousin. That was, a little young and but I also think that what if somebody wanted to name the street a street rather after Oliver Stone, who did the Scarface movie. Right, or Martin Scorsese, or Brian De Palma, who directed Scarface. It's a gangster movie. It's shoot 'em up, right? But would there be the same sentiment from Mr. Barton?
No.
Well, I wrote this on Facebook yesterday. Some people even came up to me, and we had that's the great thing about Memphis. We could always have great discussion. I think that's a prime example of how people who don't understand or who don't care to understand other cultures react.
Right. Agree.
And I think that is that wasn't a good statement.
Yeah.
Because it didn't speak to his it didn't speak to drawing a brain fart.
Right, culture,
his sensitivity
spoke to his
the
cultural incompetency. One, in an ever-changing landscape, which is DeSoto County.
Yeah,
because DeSoto County, Chocolate City, baby, y'all,
28 positions in the 28 of the most important positions in DeSoto County. Not held by nobody black.
Right. But give it time. They've
been lawsuit right now with the NAACP.
Right. So look, don't go anywhere. We're gonna come right back, and we got more of Jeremy Pierre, but also, some of Jeremy's friends got beat up at the Trump rally, and we're gonna talk about that. I'm just kidding, y'all. It wasn't his friend, but we're gonna talk about these black folks at the Trump rally getting beat up. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Let's get fuck with me. I'm still getting it. Master P, no limit. And I'm with it. Come get it. No missing. You know how we coming in
Sauce dripper like a broke faucet. Diamond teeth, and my neck glossing. Project flossing, taking no lossing. Ain't trying to go up that creek like Dawson. Ain't no pausing, no stagnation. Pockets on swole like pregnation. Brand new house, brand new cars. I'm from the hood, gentrification.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, this your boy, Pimp Type, MJG.
Yeah, man, and this your dog, Big Ball.
Y'all know what this is. This the Antonio Parkinson Project. You hear me?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And we're back. And we're back.
And we're back.
Hey, look, he's so used to doing so much television. I should have let him do it. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up one more again for that. Hey, man. Hey, look, but our numbers. Did y'all get the numbers?
Our numbers are numbers. We're going to have to change our slogan pretty soon. Fast growth podcast, period.
So I want to make sure y'all seen it. They're too close to you, man. It's on you, ain't it? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so we're over. We started in February. We're over 5 million views in aggregate. With,
y'all had on here, Cat Williams.
Man,
speaking, we receive it. Grab that on in there. Grab it.
We had some cat moments.
We did, man. We did, man. So that's what we need to do. Put a collage together. Some of them
hard
moments, right?
They know.
Yeah,
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
For real. So there were some black folks, some black Trump supporters.
Come on.
That went to the Trump rally, I'm sure in good spirits, right? And I guess this is in Michigan. And apparently they got jumped by some white Trump supporters, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, we telling you something.
Well, Michigan broke it. And look, and so where y'all been? I'm just kidding. But look, apparently they were vendors. They were there selling Trump gear. But let's see the video. They were in there jacking and I don't know if that's something that comes with being a black Trump supporter. Do they think you're more?
What I want to know is if they Trump supporters, if they was Trump supporters, are they still Trump supporters after taking that ass whooping? Because they jumped on them.
And what led to it? Like, what they do? Say something that made you mad or what? So, shorted you your money on the gear?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah, so let's move to this. This is important news too. There was a strike by the longshoremen, right? Yeah, and according to ABC News, 10,000 dock workers, they began the strike. Was the day before yesterday, right? Yep. And the strike is over, thank God, right? And I think yesterday or the day before, or maybe the same day of the strike, the Biden administration got involved and they brought that shit to a halt. Yeah. Right. They shut it down. And but the president of the longshoremen's union, man, he was talking cash-ish, right, about what was going to happen. And guess what? I think we got video.
Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the companies money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you.
Just yesterday, shipping carriers, after some discussion, an International Longshoremen Union came to an agreement to keep ports in the East Coast and the Gulf ports open. We averted what could have become a major crisis for the country, and a tentative agreement which includes record wage increases for dock workers and shows the importance of collective bargaining and represents, I think, critical progress toward a strong contract.
I am pro-labor, right? Yeah. I've been, all my 25 years on the fire department, I was union. Even though we had the sorriest union in Shelby County Fire Department. Is
it still sorry, you think?
I'm not part of it now, but I still fight for them. But, I believe in labor. And, the thing is, so they've gone from, these negotiations now, they're back at work, and there's been an agreement to a 62% wage increase. Oh, wow. The reason they walked because it was only 50%. Yeah. But it's now 62% over 3 years. But I think their goal was to get to 77% wage increase. And the fact that these companies can pay that,
they don't.
Like that means that they could have been paying. They could have been paying it.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Man, we can't do that. Well,
you can't.
Man, listen,
we're already giving so and so this and that.
Yeah.
Well, what that got to do with me?
You're right.
Yeah, and it's amazing how money just materializes all of a sudden. But look, but the longshoremen, they had them by the balls though.
They got them in that industry. Even back in 2022 with the railroad, my husband works for the railroad, and they went on strike. But Biden stopped. He created a law against it. He made it illegal to strike. Yes, yeah, he did. I got receipts. Yes, I do.
If
I got receipts.
Beautiful bean
It's not
footage.
illegal to strike because these guys just went on strike.
Illegal for the railroad to strike. Yes, it is. I'm gonna pull the receipt.
Biden can't make a law.
However
He's not a lawmaker.
I'm gonna show you.
He's not
Okay.
a legislator. So you're gonna have to show me that one.
I will.
All right. Yeah.
And he got negative feedback because one of the biggest things he campaign was being for the union.
Pro-labor, right.
That was the biggest thing. So how are you going to stop this and use pro-union in your campaigning?
But if I'm correct, Biden actually ended that strike by helping the railroad.
Yeah, they did. They end up. He
so-
said it's not worth 100,000 workers. It's not a big deal because they were arguing about vacation. Like you literally vacation and sick days. They don't have sick days.
You know, it's a lot of
That's
a lot of
crazy.
companies
Yeah,
that
he said it's not worth it.
yeah.
And he said, no, we can't stop because the economy relies on all these things to happen to bring things in, which led to people panicking. I don't know why people was buying toilet paper. Like,
oh my God,
toilet paper is made, some people like, toilet paper is made here. You know, it's not from anywhere else. Y'all can calm down. But they bought toilet paper and some other things.
I ain't gonna lie. I went to the liquor store and bought me about 3 bottles.
Okay,
Look,
really?
I saw him on the news.
3 bottles of hen dog.
Where's Hennessy made at though?
Paris.
Is Hennessy made in Paris?
Paris.
I did not know that.
Are you making that up?
Oh my God.
White Hennessy? You drink white Hennessy too?
You can't bring that into the United States.
Well, you can.
You can't buy it here. You can't buy it here.
I didn't know that. I thought my cousin
Hennessy
made
is
it.
made by the same people that own Louis Vuitton.
Really? I thought my cousin had made that Hennessy. But
Interesting.
No,
well, you know,
I did.
well, if that's
I
the
mean, what they
case,
do.
then I'm going to sanction you publicly because you should have been buying Uncle Nearest, which is black owned and made right here outside of Nashville.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
What happens January the 15th?
So you know, in 90 days, you know, they should by then have a contract. I think part of the problem is that the dock workers didn't feel like those that you know own the port companies were negotiating in good faith. And so what Biden's administration has done is forced them to the table and, you know, and forced them to negotiate in good faith and have a real conversation and get this thing worked out because, you know, you think about the timing of everything. You think about the elections, right? You know, but I can tell you this, the fact that those port workers those longshoremen are back at work is a win for the Biden administration and the Harris administration.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not the Harris administration.
Well, Biden-Harris.
Well, okay.
Biden/Harris.
And that's one thing I kept screaming at the TV at the VP debate.
Yeah.
You keep talking about Kamala Harris's administration.
Yeah. Right.
No. She's the vice president.
And she is to serve at the agenda of the president. Right. Which is, you know, that's, you know, but civics is needed.
It's
deeply,
amazing.
Yeah, in here. But let's shift real quick. You know, this is, you know, Hurricane Helene with an E, you know, but I want to talk about this. This is such a sad story, right? You know, it's called Impact Plastics, you know, in Unicoi County in Tennessee, right? You know, so the devastation, you know, left behind, you know, of course, with the hurricane, they're saying though that this hurricane is the most devastating hurricane, only second to Katrina.
Katrina, that's right.
Yeah, you know a little bit about that.
I'm a Katrina baby.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, you know, the impact of this hurricane has been, you know, is just devastating, right? You know, and so, you know,
you just don't have no black people on their roofs waving at trying to get help.
Well, yeah, you're right. But there were some, you know, Hispanics and others, and you know, and at this plastic company, Impact Plastic, you know, according to you know, ABC News and other news outlets, these workers were told to stay, right, and the bosses left, and then by the time that they got, you know, word that they could leave, the water in the parking lot was 5 feet high in the parking lot. Wow. It was 5 feet high. And so, you know, I read, I forgot who I was reading it with, where, you know, there was some firsthand account where some of the individuals, they were standing on a flatbed trailer, right, you know, trying to stay above the water. Yeah. And then the trailer started floating and it tipped.
Why'd you make us work that day? Why? We shouldn't have worked. We shouldn't have been there. None of us should have been there. And that's what I should have said to him.
The TBI is investigating a company in Upper East Tennessee after several people died following the catastrophic flood. The plastic manufacturing plant is in Irwin. The company president put out a statement Monday, but employees tell 10 News reporter Libby Cunningham the company's version of what happened is not accurate.
Former employee Robert Jarvis says a statement Impact Plastics put out about when workers were told to leave the building isn't true.
The statement's a lie. They told us we had to stay there until they talked to the owner.
The videos Robert Jarvis shows me from his cell phone that he took at work are shocking. He says he was at work last Friday morning and then the power went out. That's when he first realized something was going wrong. He asked someone if he and his coworkers could leave their job at Impact Plastics, but he says he was told they had to call the business owner first. At that point, it was too late. Robert says one image of that morning stands out in his mind.
I see Rosa. I see her smiling. I see her smiling at me because she smiled at me right before it all happened.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And, you know, and one guy said there was a young lady that he was trying to help. She got caught up in a coil of plastic that, you know, some of the supplies and died. And he couldn't get her out. And a tree fell on him. A tree fell on him while he was trying to help her. But we got video. Run that video, LeConte.
The supervisors, the bosses left, that the employees were told repeatedly not to leave. And do you know why? No, I don't know why. I know that a lot of them did report that when they were speaking with their families on like Facebook, you know, whatever live. I know that they were speaking with their family as they were holding on for their
Porque si fueran dichos de antes, pues sí se salvan, pero a la mera hora.
If they would have told them to leave earlier, maybe we would be here. They would still be here today, and we wouldn't be looking for them. But when they tried to leave, it was too late.
And can you go ahead and spell her name for me? Like, say and spell it.
Okay, Lydia is Lydia. Her last name is Verdugo. Verdugo.
And the other one?
Monica Hernandez.
And then
there's four.
Yes.
Rosa Andrade. And then Bertha Mendoza.
Andrade, normal spelling?
Andrade. And there's two other people missing that worked in the same area.
Do you have their names as well?
I don't have their names. I know the last name is Peterson, and there's another girl. She might be related to her. She is, I think, this lady right here. So there's six people missing in total in that area. 4 are Hispanic, Mexicans, Mexicans, and then 2 others. I think this lady is related to one of the others missing. But yeah, there's 4.
Thank you.
That we know.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Some of them were saying that they felt like, you know, they couldn't lose their job, or they felt like their job was threatened if they left, right? And you know, and so.
But I wonder, you know, because I had a situation kind of like this. I was working at the Department of Human Service years ago, the Jackson office. Yeah. And the snowstorm came.
I remember.
And you know, and if you was working for the state, you got to wait for them to give you the go ahead to close the actual office. So when does common sense, you know, come in?
No, I'm sorry.
When do common sense come in over protocol? Because this is what I did. I had my workers, and I actually went to the office and I asked myself, hey, what's going on? Are they going to give the call or what? And they were like, we still waiting. But I went and told my worker, y'all going to get up out of here. Because it's coming down, and it's going to be a skating ring around here.
Yeah.
So I let me, y'all go ahead and leave.
But that's good leadership.
Yeah, it is. And it's compassionate.
Other people trying to stay. Old ladies, I'm looking at them like, they ain't going to make it in this ice.
So you put yourself in the place of an individual that's working there, right? And especially being in Tennessee, you're in a right to work state, right? And So let's say, for instance, you leave and then it doesn't get as bad as it is purported to be, and then you lose your job, right? And so that's what these individuals are weighing, you know, and that tells you how important this job is to some people, right? You know, but I always say, you know, these employers, you know, if you die today, you are replaced today, right? Or they start the process for replacing you today. And, you know, and we spend a lot of years, you know, giving lives to these reporters. We almost going to get back to the DDG thing.
You had a point. You make his argument right there. I was gonna say that.
We might have to cover that,
Yeah, you made a point about the 9 to 5.
That is a very important point. And, you know, one thing, and in fact, we may have a minute to cover that, but you know, people were getting mixed up also when Vice President Harris said that we have $750 for, you know, that were given to people that are, you know, involved, you know, that have been victim of the storm. And it's for, people miss these words, it's for immediate needs.
I was one of them. Remember, I was like, no, how you going to get these folks $750? What they supposed to do with that? And I still feel that same. I still feel the same way. Even if it's immediate needs. What immediate needs are you going to be able to fix with $750? Immediate needs is getting a hotel. How much a hotel room costs?
Well, you know, but you can get a hotel for $35. You know, the ones you stay at, is like the Rose Motel.
A hotel
on
for $35.
They $15 an hour,
right where you go pick up them lot lizards when you supposed to be going to Nashville. That's that hotel on Lamar.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Same one.
You talk about the emergency, immediate need. Because going back and thinking of Katrina, our immediate need was we needed somewhere to lay our head. Evacuate for 18 hours to Atlanta from New Orleans.
You got the money.
And so I guess the immediate need for us was free hotel.
Right. But even if it gets you 2 days, 3 days, well, just hear me for a second. You know, even if it gets you, you know, 3 days of a hotel stay, that's an immediate need. You know, if you don't have baby formula and you can find some, that's an immediate need, right?
Need some baby oil.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Take that. Man, look. But that, I think people are mistaken in thinking that this is all that these people are going to get. And that's not the case.
I was one of them.
And so it's important to you know, make sure that we, you know, hear, you know, what is being said and listen to what you know. I'm not direct.
I represent the people because that's what a lot of people heard, and it's going viral, and they were upset about that $750, and I still stand on it. That's not enough money. At least $1,500.
You know what I do?
$15.
You know what I do?
What?
Immediate, like right now.
Immediately,
it's still not enough.
Yeah, shout out to Kia Shine, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah, immediately, yes, we need this money. But you know, and what's interesting, real quick, and I know we got to wrap this up, right? Is the politics of this storm, right? You know, it hit in a you know, election year, and what's interesting is this. There are Republicans that the day before the storm hit voted against giving FEMA money.
Yep.
You know, budgeting more money for FEMA when they know that this is going to be a rough hurricane season, because they say there are 2 more behind, right behind this one. That are going to hit this month, possibly.
Yeah, and 200 people almost lost their lives.
No, 200 people died.
Lost their lives.
Lost their lives.
What, we got 4 more hurricanes.
That are lined up. But look, I think we got video on this. The Republicans that voted against the money for FEMA were in Florida, Georgia. We don't have the video. South Carolina, right, and Tennessee. You know, our Marsha Blackburn was one of them. Andy Ogle's one of them. Senator Haggerty one of them. And Tennessee is hurting. I mean, I talked to some of my colleagues earlier who are in that same county where the plastics company was, and they said they have been devastated.
And that's one of the counties that possibly never thought they would be hit like that because
so far inland
is inland and it's hills too.
Right, yeah. Oh, you look at what happened in Asheville, North Carolina, right? Asheville, North Carolina is 300 miles off the coast. Yeah. And they say there's no such thing of climate change.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
by Black Market Strategies.